Okay, Yan, I must thank you for your excellent presentation. When I spoke to you an hour ago, you said, Wilson Koo, if you want me to write this speech, you will never have it. So that is correct, but that is why we capitalized on your presence tonight to have it videoed, so that you don't have to write a script, unlike several other relatives who had the time to sit down and write it before they read it. Just like me, I am not able to speak off the cuff. I have to write it, type it into my computer, and then read it off the text. So for you, you are very eloquent in your speech. I must thank you for being with us tonight at Namley Hill. As I said, I would like to thank my cousins, Yu Huat and Evelyn, for making this possible for us to sit around the table tonight to have this talk by Yan. And we shall proceed now with perhaps 5 minutes of questions. But before that, I would like to thank Bobby and Mary, who were Yan's neighbours at number 47 Cairnhill Road, and also for Phyllis. I think Phyllis, you would know the Lim family. Thank you all for coming this evening. And of course, the Yu Yang Ko Aso, and also Aso Pi Hong, Mrs. Lim Yu Hin, right? And of course Aso, Mrs. Lily Lim. So if you have any questions to ask Yan, I'm sure he'll be most happy to answer anything about his parents, or about 49 Cairnhill Road, or about his life in Thailand. I believe he has been there for about 5 years, and he will have some stories to tell us about his experiences over there. Anyone, any questions for Yan? If not, let me just start off by asking you, Yan, what made you leave Singapore to settle down in Thailand? What was the attraction over there?
You want the honest answer or the interesting one?
Interesting one. Honest, up to you. The floor is yours.
Actually, it was because of the business that I was engaged in, and we started a golf show in Bangkok, and then we started another one in Beijing, which meant that I was away from home about 3 weeks of the month, and that wasn't acceptable because I don't like being away from my family. Having grown up in such a family environment, I think my leisure time is always with my family. So I spoke to my wife and said, well, either I stop doing what I'm doing or you move up to Bangkok. And so she decided that the family would make that move to Bangkok as a challenge, and we concluded one day that we were all migrants anyway, so a little shift wouldn't be that different, and so that's how we ended up in Thailand.
Thank you. Yes, that's right. I would like to mention about this, the cover of this book here. There's a map with the arrow from Fujian to Penang. That was the first phase of migration. The second phase is from Penang to various other parts of the world. So you can see there's a Chinese sailing boat that sails down the South China Sea, up the Malay Peninsula, along the Straits of Malacca, up to Penang. And the second phase of migration is depicted by 3 arrows, one pointing towards North America, one south towards Australia, and the other one westwards towards Europe. So this depicts the story of our family book. The title is From Fujian to Penang and Beyond, Lim Chen Hock Family Stories. So this is a Peranakan family, or in Penang they call it a Nyonya Baba family. That is why we have this blue ceramic plate. What do you call a Shanghai plate? Just to say that the family is Nyonya Baba family from Penang, which was part of the Straits settlements. Many years ago, when you refer to the Straits settlements, you are referring actually to Malacca, Singapore and Penang.
Can I ask you, Wilson,
yes,
is the picture there photographed, or do you actually have that plate?
This plate was photographed, and the map, I think, was superimposed over it after the photo was taken. But the details, I have left it to the Penang co-editors. They liaised with the printers in Penang. And just to mention, at the back of this book, this is number 25 Farquhar Street. It was the family home for about 60 years. The patriarch Lim Chien Hock and the matriarch Khu So Sik, they lived there. They brought up their children, and after they died, the family continued to live there until the mid-60s, when 25 Farquhar Street was compulsorily acquired by the Georgetown Town Council for the purpose of road widening. Therefore, they had to demolish the house. But a week before the house was demolished, one of the uncles, my uncles, Dr. Lim Kyong Peng, he arranged for all the relatives who were then in Penang to gather in front of this house for a family group photo. So this was the last photo that was taken of this house before it was demolished.
So as we sit here tonight, I just want to add a little note that while the theme is about the Lim family, it has occurred to me that we don't live as islands to ourselves. And if I look back on my own life, I think Uncle Bobby and Auntie Mary had a huge influence on me as well. And if my daughter could just pan the camera so they can get on YouTube as well. That's Uncle Bobby there. Wave, Uncle Bobby. And that's Auntie Mary. So I just want to put forward the thought that I think all of us, wherever the Lim clan may have been, we had neighbours. And I think those neighbours have also contributed to our lives. And I am reminded always of your hospitality. I must have had many, many meals. I remember going for rides in your Triumph Spitfire. You would have been booked for I don't know, child endangerment or something before such a term existed, because we sat on the back bonnet of his car going down Orchard Road with no seat belts. But there was always that sense of fun, and Uncle Bobby is a great musician, and he would always be on the piano, so he filled the whole neighborhood with the tinkling of his keys and his lovely chords. And then he tried to pick up the clarinet as well. With slightly less success. I remember saying, well, this music is so beautiful, and I would like to be a musician. And I say, well, if Uncle Bobby can play that many instruments, there's no reason why I can't learn them as well. So till today, actually, Uncle Bobby, when I pick up the clarinet, I think of you. So we thank you for sharing. It's being such a big part of our childhood and being such great neighbors. Thank you so much.
If I may, can I pay a tribute to your...
Please turn the camera in.
If I may, can I pay a tribute to Mrs. Eng He? If not for her, I don't think we would have been neighbors for very long. Because on the second year of the Japanese occupation, the Yoshiwara that was located about 200 yards away from where we were, threatened to take over the property that we were living in. And Auntie Eng He, because of her friendship with, I think, Admiral somebody or other from the Japanese Navy, persuaded Yamamoto, is it? I can't remember who.
Yeah,
anyway, she persuaded this big shot to cancel the deal. And so if that did not happen, we would be sitting here as neighbors. Because this happened in 1943, I think. So I would like to pay a tribute to her. She was a gentle person, but she had this fantastic personality. And Mrs. Eng He, my tribute.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll pause for a while.